Well, hello, everybody. Larry Young here again with another segment of OLaMan Living Life with Purity. And boy, have we got something to talk about today. And this is things that are going on at our friendly television network, ABC, and having to do with the Jimmy Kimmel Show and some of the fallout from some of the rhetoric that's been expelled after the Charlie Kirk assassination, and some of the blowback from Jimmy Kimmel's wife, one Molly McNearney, a woman so proud of her husband she won't even use his last name. So this is just how crazy this all gets. Molly McNearney, not only being Jimmy Kimmel's loving spouse, is also the television show's executive producer and head writer, which probably goes a long way towards explaining why the show sucks. But for a woman that won't even use her husband's last name, and in this situation, she's either hiding something or she's ashamed of the situation. I think it's a little bit of both right now because of her statement the other day when she came out on their podcast and she was bitching at her family for voting for Trump and saying that it was a slam against her and her husband because her family wasn't backing them, they were backing Trump. And she having this total meltdown. But what she wasn't realizing is that the reason her family didn't respond to her and she was having such a terrible reaction to the whole thing was that her family didn't agree with her and they were conservative and they just saw what she was going through and trying to terrorize them with this 10-point bullet point as to why Trump was bad. They just knew that their family member was screwed up and that they're both screwed up. So this is probably the inside family position. And it's incredible that so many people on the left have gone so far into the tank over these politics and this liberal agenda of trying to promote this progressive woke thinking that they're willing to disenfranchise themselves from the rest of the family and immediately call them the problem. But during her little, I say, tirade or whatever, she did mention that she's tired of being angry all the time. And this fatigue at being angry all the time is part of what I talked about with the people coming out of the cave in Plato's Republic. And that I'd said that when they come out and they want to attack you and they want to call you names and they want to physically harm you, you have to essentially be ready to walk away and mock them. Because mocking is the only thing that really gets to them. The other wars of words or fact checking and things like this can all be betrayed due to AI and other editing types of things that go on, and I'll get to that in a little bit here too. But when they have to come to terms with things that this is the reality that we've been looking at, this is not. And so what they need to do is, I think that last one needs a little more fiber in its diet. Okay, yeah, a little more fiber there. I think what they're finding out is the truth has always been there all along, and their personal denials of these things only took them deeper into their own misery. And when they finally have to come to terms, they have to realize, maybe it's me. And this is where you've got the point where you can start to heal. And this is where you can put away the mocking and start putting in the, hey, honey, come on home. We've been waiting for you. Dinner's ready. Why don't you sit down? Let's talk. We've been waiting to see you. That type of thing. That's the kind of response that you get from conservatives. They will wait patiently, like what was the parable of the the prodigal son. I'm sorry, my gosh, I got all these notes here and I can't even think of prodigal son. So it's like the father and the prodigal son. His son left on bad terms and walked away, and the father hopefully waited that someday his son would return. He had this optimism that the son would return someday and not be hurt or injured or harmed by any way or killed out there away from home. And so when the prodigal son came home, the father was overjoyed and really didn't want to listen to the son's pleas for forgiveness. He says, you don't have to ask. I've always forgiven you. Please come. Let's celebrate your return. We'll work tomorrow. And but this woman, in her tirade, realized that maybe she's the problem and needs deprogramming. And this is a point of where we can enter in with health, with the doctor's prescription to get this dose of sanity back in there and look at things and realize that maybe your ideals of goodness and virtue, they were merited as far as being kind, but in practicality, they weren't merited. And so we need to realize that just because we think that unicorns are real doesn't mean that they are. And what we have to do is face reality and sit down and get back to work together so that we can make things and fix things in this world and take care of the people that you're so concerned about. And we share that concern as well. But we're not going to get there by tearing things down and breaking things apart and following the lead of the devil on things. The example that God has put before us to build, create, and lift up. And so there's an opportunity here. So we're going to, hope that Molly McNearney, continues to get her shit together and we don't have these kind of problems going on. And maybe, just maybe, a little bit of sanity will creep back into things here and, we can start to have discussions and not arguments. So also this week, something happened, a long time ago, back in, I think, 2020. Our friends over in Great Britain at the BBC, their esteemed news division, ran a edited version of Donald Trump's speech to the people gathered at the Capitol on January 6th, and they edited the crap out of it. They put two segments of his speech that were over 50 minutes apart together to say what they wanted to say, which wasn't the truth. And they lied to everybody. I mean, just lied. They did it on purpose. This wasn't an error. This was intentional. This was evil. This was trying to create division and rancor in the world. And it just about got the man killed. So here's what happened is they edited his speech down when he was saying we're going to walk peacefully and patriotically, and then they edited something else in there about where he was saying that, if we're going to stand up for this country and keep what our founding fathers put together, we have to fight, fight, fight. And he was talking about how we have to carry these virtues forward and not physically fight, 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 but we have to stand strong and we have to be ready to not yield on these strengths and these platforms that were given to us by our founding fathers with great wisdom, I might add. These guys were really well-read, and they were just amazing thinkers, individually and together, collective. It was I don't think we'll ever see anything like that again. If we do, I'll be amazed. But I'm hoping that can continue through for the next level of government and an organization we need to carry humanity into the next full century and beyond if we're to exist. But the BBC got caught lying, and so two heads, the head of BBC and the head of the news department, quit. They should probably be running for safety in the country of Qatar right now, I would think, because I don't know if they have deportation arrangements there. I don't know. But what they did was really, really bad. And this has to the question needs to be asked, was this a coincidence? Or is this a pattern? or is this a worldwide conspiracy that's going on? And I think you could probably easily rule out the first answer there of being a coincidence. It was definitely not a coincidence. But this is a pattern of the conspiracy that's going on. This is their MO. And we have to be very, very diligent here as AI is coming online to not believe whatever it is that you see on the internet at first glance. You have to get at least 3 sources on these things. And they can't be like Instagram and stuff like that. We really have to shake this stuff out. A lot of this is being perpetuated and funded with these radically funded groups by the governments of Qatar and Saudi Arabia. They said, "Oh, they're not doing. They're such, they're such a peaceful religion." Yeah, okay. I don't think so. Over 50,000 terrorist attacks since 9/11 around the world. That's not peaceful. That's not trying to be empathetic to your locals at all. That's subjugating. That's conquering. That's way beyond colonialism. So these governments of Qatar and Saudi Arabia, through their money donations to these NGOs and other groups and things like that, are helping to fund this radical uprising that's going on, while they smile so nicely and want to give the President of the United States his beautiful $400 million jet. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take that damn jet and let's put it to use. Let's not even do anything to it. Let's just take it and start running illegals back to their home countries in style. The last ride that they'll get, courtesy of the United States, is going to be the best ride they'll ever get in their entire life. Go for it. Give them first-class treatment the whole way. And then let them figure it out. It's the best we can do for our visitors who need to leave. This is something that I think can be endorsed by a lot of people. It's going to be ridiculed by a few. But hey, a free jet's a free jet. Take it. Like I said before, 51% of liberals want to exclude family members, just like Molly McNierney wants to do with her family, to not allow them into their homes or whatever in their communications for the holidays. You know what? If 51% of liberals want to do that, that's a choice. And it's a poor choice, but they've got to feel the pain and the loss before they may come to the realization that maybe they're the problem. Because if they're not getting along with the rest of the herd, maybe it's them. So let it happen. 11% of conservatives want to do the same thing. I think a lot of that just needs some thinking through. But hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. A lot of people are hurt and angry about all this because a lot of terrible words have been said, and a lot of people have been accused of doing some terrible things that never happened. So let's hope that everyone can get together around the dinner table for Thanksgiving this year. And if I happen to be there, please make my meat the dark meat, please. I appreciate that. I really don't like white meat. But in the meantime, I love you, and I'll be back.